Governor vetoed the tax bills, and the leadership has been unable to come to terms on calling a special session. How have those events affected voters' responses as you are campaigning this election season?
Okay. For me, when I'm at the doors talking to people, people are frustrated. They're frustrated because they send folks to these offices to do a job. That's why they were elected. And they feel like that job isn't getting done. So what I'm hearing from people in our community is that they're frustrated with what they're seeing and that the work isn't getting done. That we, there was a time when we had a special session because it was a national disaster of some sort. And now we have some man-made disasters. And so people are frustrated. That's what I'm hearing from the doors.
Well, I'm hearing frustration from the people at the doors because the governor circumvented you, the taxpayer, to get the funding for Southwest Light Rail. And it's not just a cost to build the rail, it's also a long-term cost of subsidizing that rail.
Deadlines that are established by which the committees are supposed to hear bills so that we can fully vet them and we can have public hearings and we can have testimony from citizens and from stakeholders who understand the ramifications of what it is we're debating and talking about. And we did not follow that process as the legislature this year. And I will say specifically, the House really did not follow that process this year. They didn't introduce a fully listed bonding bill until very, very late in session, so we didn't have a chance to vet it. The bonding bill that was being voted on the last night of session was $1 billion worth of spending that we didn't really see until a half an hour before session.
Clear clamoring for change. It's as simple as that Larry the Cable Guy, right? People in the girls say, simply put, get her done. They don't want to hear a lot of excuses and reasons. Get her done. Hard-working families know what it's like to have to work under difficult circumstances with difficult people, and they still are expected to get their jobs done, and they feel like the people they hire to represent them don't understand how they have to live. I hear that at the door each and every day.
There's agreement that we need to work together. We need to get past the partisanship, past the political posturing, and listen to each other, be respectful, put our heads together in a way that's constructive to solve the problems. And ensure is part of a solution and also part of the problem that we need to do better with. Healthcare can be considered a right. And we aren't doing very well with it. But it does require listening respectfully, working together to make the changes.
There's incredible return on investment. We make sure that our youngest learners are ready for kindergarten. I've been involved in things like Reading Corps, which is a very cost-effective program that helps kids reach the third grade reading threshold. If they don't make that milestone, they are struggling for the rest of their academic career. And it's so important.
We spend more money per student in St. Paul and Minneapolis, and yet we have not only large achievement gaps, they're some of the worst in the entire country. If we want to think we're number one at something, we're number one in achievement gaps, and that's nothing to be proud of. That's something to be pretty ashamed of, really. It's not just about money. It's about thinking outside the box. It's about really innovative thinking. We've got an education system that hasn't changed much since the 50s. We are not leveraging technology. We are not teaching each child more individually. We are not doing some of the things that we can do to really ensure the outcomes that we need. Better education for every child. And we can do that. It's not just about money.
When you think about some of the things we do here in South Washington County that are creative, we do in 622 that are creative, there are not a lot of funds that go towards funding those programs. Like, why can't we increase Project Lead the Way? Why is it that I live in Woodbury, but if I live on one side of the street, I can have Project Lead the Way, which is a science and STEM program, but if I live on the other and go to another school district, that's not an opportunity for me. How many of you are familiar with Project Lead the Way? Okay. So, why is it that we're funding that? College and schools. My children both went to school. One of them has 18 credits before he even stepped on a college campus. That keeps costs down for us. Why can't we fund any more teachers trained to teach college in the schools? That's opportunities that are right in our school district.
The marketplace and how we have been able to do things and some of the restrictions and some of the, the individual marketplace insurance rates just were announced. Anybody on the individual market share? Anybody? What happened to your rates? Did they go up?
I got canceled right before us.
Yes,
I thought it was 270,000.
Okay.
Skyrocketing.
Skyrocketing. Okay, I've heard that a lot. That's a good term, skyrocketing. So the direct question is our healthcare system a model of efficiency? No, it's not. So that's something that has to be changed, and that's opening it up to the market, more competition, less control, less regulation, and then you're going to see some of the trends that we've been seeing before, where health costs, health premiums stay stable, or in some cases.
When the governor came here to Woodbury to talk about transportation and lobbying and whatnot, I specifically asked him to bring us, he took Southwest Light Rail off the table, bring us back to give tax relief to the citizens of Woodbury, and to give us our important transportation bills. I have the 494, 694 safety improvement in that bonding bill. People want that to be moved forward. We work together. The governor needs to call us back. He doesn't need anybody's approval for it.